then I'm gonna do comments. So here we go.
Everybody. Oh.
Hello. Welcome to Wildcard. I don't talk over people. Hello, welcome to Wildcard Wednesday. We're having a great time, I think. And we're going to look, Wildcard Wednesday is when we look at different beer brands. And we're going to go in order. I'm in Louisiana. And Michael is in Brooklyn, New York City, New York.
Nope.
Bumpy Road, Jesse is in Rhode Island.
Nope, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, New England, New Hampshire. Sorry about that. Close to the ocean. And Eric is in Massachusetts, close to Rhode Island.
Very close.
But we skipped in New Jersey, close to Brooklyn. Took my glasses off. Eric is in Massachusetts, close to Rhode Island. And then Nina is in Connecticut tonight, but typically in Rhode Island, close to Massachusetts, because Rhode Island's close to everything. Near it.
Give or take. Now,
I've been to Rhode Island. I got a parking ticket in Providence one time.
Sounds about right.
$10. I wasn't pleased, but I
no overnight.
All right, now I'm gonna.
Yep.
No overnight parking either.
Luckily, I was just touring the Capitol for an hour. That's all it took. Now we're gonna do different beers. Some are gonna be surprising. Some are gonna be expected. Some are going to be aloof in the sense that you'll say, like I'm going to say, I've never heard of that, but I would be open to trying it. And some are going to be regional, national. Hopefully they'll all be good.
Yeah.
And we will entertain comments very quickly. And then what we're going to do, some people are not used to Wildcard Wednesday. The format is we all go around and say, here's what I've got. Then we loop back around and say, here's what I think about it. And then the final thing is we give our score. It lasts no more than an hour. If I'm a liar, then you'll find that out because it'll be longer than an hour. All right, now, here we go, starting at this very moment. Here I am in Louisiana, and I have Schlitz beer.
Yes. Ooh, nice.
Bam. That's a good one right there.
Classico.
Some alcohol level, assuming it's 4.6, but knowing Schlitz, they don't provide any good information. So I think it's 4.6. Michael get ready for this.
Okay, from the Seagram's Escape series, I have Spiked, which is their Calypso coconut beverage. I assume it's a malt beverage, pineapple and coconut flavors. And it says on the bottom it contains alcohol, as if I didn't know. And 1 pint, 7.5 ounces, which is 23.5 ounces. And I'm sure I'll feel it, but it's always fun on Wildcard Wednesday
5%.
to drink things that affect your brain. So I'll come around once we get back to me. And I usually do beer and ale, but this will be a pleasant change.
We'll see how
Hopefully.
Excellent. And I am not going to say anything about that right at this moment, but you may notice later I will. All right. Bumpy Road in New Hampshire has...
I have a beer called South of 11. It is a double IPA with a can art. Looks like something that John Wayne Gacy drew up.
Chingus Chikuk.
Yeah, this comes from Hoof-Hearted Brewing Company. And it's 10.2% ABV. And it says to drink fresh at 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice.
And it is, this is an ongoing thing with John and Nelly. It's distributed by 12%.
So shouldn't it be north of 11?
No, because it's south of 11 because it's 10.2% ABV and not over 11%.
That was my assumption. But anyway, now James P. Madonna is going to bring us Merry Old England's very best. Go, James.
All right. Okay. There we go. Samuel Smith India Pale Ale. And Says here, old brewery, Tadcaster. I'm sure it's very old company. Surprised it's only 5% alcohol, but you know, it might make up for it in flavor. Brewed with well water, original well sunk in 1758. Like Ronald Terrio says, it's an essay, right? It's still in use. Hard work, underground hop, barley, hops, yeast, fermented in open-topped stone Yorkshire squares. Very, very impressive. Complex. It's exceptionally full flavor, complex ale, abundance in maltiness and fruity hop flavor. This is a firmly hop, elegant balance, authentic English India Pale Ale. All right. Are we pouring it? I try to say that in one breath.
No. I like your style. I copy it. And people copy me. Now, Jay, I have one important question.
Yeah.
Could you start us off with some music?
Yeah. Well. Wildcard Wednesday should always be wild because it is the finest intergalactic review show in the universe.
Wow.
Roadie Kick Cut. What? Roadie Kick Cut?
I've never even heard of that. All right. Well, keep this.
Roadie Kick Cut.
Some people, you may notice that some people have an oblique sense of humor. I've been accused of that. I don't know why. All right, Eric.
No, I don't know the answer
try.
to that. Jay will have to post the link if he wants people to join. This is from that Toppling Goliath Brewing Company. They started in 2009. They're in beautiful Decorah, Iowa, of all things. This is their 7.2% India Pale Ale called Fire Skulls and Money, which has a date of 11/20/2020. And it's 50 IBUs with Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, Nelson hops. They say it was inspired by a trip to the West Coast, but according to Beer Advocate, once again, we have a New England IPA, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Money for nothing, chicks for free.
Yeah, something like that. No, lawyers got money, more in Zealand.
I'm going to go to Nina now because in 2021, you'll notice that I'm going to be unusually quiet by design. I've been planning to do that for a number of years. But anyway, because I said Sunday, people didn't catch it. I said, remember back in 97, I told you that I make a lot of jokes and you thought I was joking? I wasn't. Okay, Nina.
Okay. I'm sipping my beer already. I've already opened it. But I have the Green State Lager from Vermont. Here's the can. I don't know if anyone's seen this around. My sister was drinking it one spring, and I noticed a lot of people were drinking it, sports-related people, like after kayaking or canoeing, and I don't know, all kinds of physical activity kind of good times. Anyway, I noticed it made a comeback this winter. I hadn't seen it since the hot summer. And I picked it up, a 4-pack, last time I saw it. I've enjoyed a few of them. Green State Lager. I'm not sure. Here we go. 4.9% alcohol by volume. Green State referring to Vermont, I believe. Another one of our New England states way up north. So is it a lager? Is it a pilsner? It's one of those beers where they, write every name in the book on the can, and zero gravity they've also specified for this beer. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by all of that. I know the 4.9 and the IBUs are listed on the can, and that's a plus for a lot of people. So I'm drinking it now, and it's got a beautiful look to it. So,
that beer is a German Pilsner. I've had that a couple of times. I actually do like that beer. And
nice.
Zero Gravity is actually the name of the brewery.
Oh, Zero Gravity Brewery. That makes perfect sense. Usually I think like high gravity when I see gravity.
Yeah. If playing words, I would bet you. Yeah.
Really cool can. It's very nice. It has like a high-end golden top. Comes in a 4-pack, not cheap. So yeah, next in line, please.
Okay, now to clarify certain questions, I'm about to tell you some things that will answer all your questions and solve all your problems. I'm talking about in general, not specifically. I know other people are trying to join. The answer to the question is you will be able to join. But patience is a virtue, and I need people to be virtuous tonight. When I was at work I'm sorry, excuse me.
No.
When I was at work today, I thought to myself, I see that time is flying and I'm not ahead of the game. And I could be somewhat late tonight, but I'm not a constant contact person. So I just say, they'll realize what's happening. But I have a feeling I'm going to make it. So I got home and I said, let me write this little letter. And then I said, I hope somebody doesn't call me. Phone started ringing. I said, and then the first thing I said, the question was, how's it going? I said, I'm about to do Wildcard Wednesday. Anyway, but I don't mind. I just said, how do I work this? So it was very nice, very nice. But I was thinking to myself, some people are not going to like the slight delay when I say 6:20 to 6:30, you know. But anyway, now moving on. So Jammer fan, just wait up there, wait down there, and then when I finish my expose, I'm going to drop off. I'll add you in, and then we'll loop back around. Great.
Cool.
Okay. Well, Schlitz, that's a loaded term. People will say, oh, Schlitz, I don't drink that. And I say, I never drink things I don't like unless people force me to. Anyway, I'm going to pour it. Here's Schlitz glass. It just, by sheer coincidence, just happened to have this Schlitz glass hanging out.
Might have one of those.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. We were talking about a situation yesterday, and then today I got an email about the situation. I said, isn't it strange? So here's Schlitz beer. It's not remarkable except in the sense that I can still buy it. Most people are saying, I remember somebody said to me one time, man, you remember Schlitz beer? I said, yes. It's too bad they stopped making it. I said, did they? Now, this is the 2007 Schlitz. It's spicy. It's malty. I wouldn't use the term hoppy because it has hops in it, Cascade and I think Chinook and some Northwest hops. But it's an interesting product because when I was like 3 years old, they would have the Schlitz commercials and everything. And I thought, Telly Savalas. And one, you know, I would see people drinking it. I have photo evidence of that. The body is medium. It's sweet. It's crisp. I can get a whole 12-pack for $10.99, $11. I enjoy it. I don't adore it, but I enjoy it. People ask me all the time, what is your favorite macro beer? I say Schlitz. It's not, that doesn't imply that I don't like the rest. And then sometimes they'll say, I'll say, oh, well, I like a lot of them. I don't really rank them, but I just grab Schlitz. Or they said, but you're drinking Keystone Ice. I say, I know they had it on sale. Anyway, now, so I'm going to give it a favorable review, and I'm so interested to see what's coming next because I just can't wait. Now I'm going to drop off, and then I'm going to add Jammer Fan, and then, but I will be back. Remember, I'm just driving the buggy. Okay. So I'm going to press remove. I'm still around. And then I'm going to add Jammer. He's going to be.
Okay. So I have Seagram's Escapes Spiked Calypso Colada, which is pineapple and coconut flavored malt beverage. And I was reading on the side of it, flavored beer, malt beverage with natural flavors, and it contains my bonus. It's FD&C Blue #1. I guess I need that for coloring.
All natural.
So we know it's natural, which is great. And it's from Rochester, New York.
Uh-oh.
Then
Tennessee?
Wait, and let's see how it pours into the glass. Ooh, it's nice and blue.
Is the blue coloring supposed to look like the ocean?
Look at that. Look at that nice blue color.
Oh,
I am impressed.
blue Hawaiian.
Wow. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the glass, everybody. Nice blue color. Let's see. Not much of a head. Very small, white kind of head. It's going to go away quickly. Smells like a pina colada. That's what it's supposed to smell like. A lot of coconut. Some pineapple. Actually smells pretty decent. Let's taste it.
Cheers to Michael Kumba.
Cheers,
Everybody. Well, it tastes like pina colada too.
Huh.
Let's see. It has like a medium body. It's almost, the carbonation is a little bit on the prickly side. And but it does taste like a pina colada, I have to say that. And it doesn't taste like 8%. So whatever flavoring that you have in here of that's creating the flavors is certainly covering up the alcohol. It isn't bad. I can't say that I'm huge on these spiked beverages, but I always have been willing to try them. So I will keep sipping on this, and when we come around again, I will have a number for everybody.
Right on.
All right, so I'm about to crack open the South of 11 double IPA from Who Farted.
Hoof-hearted.
Who Farted. 10.2% ABV. Now this is distributed by 12%, which is out of North Haven, Connecticut. There you go, Nina. Have not had this one yet. I did pick up a 4-pack of it, but this is the first that I'm trying it. So nice white, tight, bubbled head. It does have a bit of a haze to it. You can't see really much through it. It does have a nice yellow coloration. The aromas. So it is kind of tropical and citrusy in the aromas. Pinpoint anything out of this, the aroma. Citrusy-ness, it's kind of on the orange side, maybe more tangerine-like. There might be more of like an orange rind type note in there. Maybe a slight hint of a floral aroma as well. Smells fairly standard for a double IPA, I guess. That's hazy, but not wowing on the aromas. All right, let's go in for the first swig. Cheers. Let's see if I can pick up any of this 10.2% ABV.
Cheers.
Bottoms up, Bumpy.
Yeah, orange slice, orange rind on the flavor. It is more on the citrus side than the tropical. A little bit of a bready note in there from the malt. Finishing kind of moderate lingering bitterness. I don't think it really goes into a piney type note from any hops, but I think the alcohol might be playing a little factor because it does have something that resembles a pininess for the tail finish, but it doesn't taste like the pininess that you get out of the hops and stuff when you get a West Coast style IPA. So I think the alcohol note kind of is in there, but it is fairly well hidden. There's no warming in the chest. There's no like straight up. This is fusel alcohol flavored, so 10.2%. It's well hidden, but I think it does play a note in the bittering effect at the tail end. It has a kind of a medium mouthfeel to it. Pretty smooth, sticky. Carbonation is on the lower side of medium. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to continue drinking on it. I'll try to figure out a scoring for this one. But yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on for it as far as flavor notes. It's, like I said, it's kind of on the citrusy side, kind of more on the orange rind, citrus, a little bit of a breadiness. ABV is decent. Cheers.
Cheers.
Excellent, Bumpy.
All right, Samuel Smith India Pale Ale. All right, very strong in the citrusy, floral, and yeasty aroma. I got to stand up because of the sign. Anyway, nice hazy, honey brown color. Very light beige head. Very strong, but not overpowering hoppy flavor. I can detect what's in the aroma, in the taste. Yeah, it's a 5% alcohol, so this can be guzzled on special occasions. But I like it. I mean,
That's what she said. Whoa.
yeah, I like it. It's very comparable. What does Wildcard Wednesday mean to you? Very sentimental feelings towards Wildcard Wednesday.
I guess. Come on.
As long as nobody rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. It doesn't have, any overpowering extra flavors on top of the basic ingredients like a lot of the American IPAs. But as far as beer that you can drink a great deal of because it's only 5%, I'd say it's the best I ever had. Greyhounds, Hialeah, near Miami. I was at the track, Greyhound racing. Anyway, yeah, there's a Greyhound rescue organization.
Greyhounds are beautiful dogs. They're
There's
really
a rescue because something bad happens to them, when they get older, But anyway, I digress. So I like it quite a bit. Mr. Ronald Theriot has the qualities of a hearty, heavy-duty India Pale Ale with the drinkability of one of your namby-pamby beers that people always brag about,
Oh, shit.
How's the malt on that thing, James? Can you taste the malt?
Yeah, I could. It's a balance. It's a good balance.
Is it crispy? Is it like a toasty malt or
Very refreshing, crispy. Yeah, toasty,
nice?
I like the word crispy. There you go.
crispy.
You'll hear that coming up.
Yeah. What's the name of my scorpion? Krusty, not Krusty.
Crusty.
Is
I
it-
have another scorpion. Maybe I should name that one Crispy. You know what? In honor of Nina, I will name it Crispy.
All right, on.
Crispy,
I'll drink to that.
Crispy Yorty, I'll call it.
Last name is Cream. Krispy Kreme.
Anyway, yeah, it's best of both worlds. You could guzzle it, and it has the heavy hardiness of your typical craft IPAs.
Great color on that one too.
Yeah, it's like deep. What do you call raw wildflower honey?
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's got the head too. The head is a nice color contrast.
Yeah, Ed, it definitely has. It's definitely getting head in this glass. It definitely has head, and you know, it's a very light tinge of the color of the beverage itself.
Nice.
There you go. So it's good. It's at least it's not clear and glorified seltzer water like some of those other disappointing imports I brought. But you never know. Sometimes the product looks really interesting. You look at the label, you look at the name, and you think it's going to be great. But Wheeling, West Virginia, that's up in the panhandle of West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
The little pecker that goes towards Pennsylvania and Ohio. The
Yeah, they border each other.
The panhandle. Hairy eyeball. Hey,
That sounds good.
that
Wow.
sounds interesting.
9.1. Cheers, comers.
I gotta look for that. The hairy eyeball.
That's a nice ale. I've had it before.
Lagunitas is good. Good stuff, Lagunitas. Their beer prices are on point for their stuff. I love them. If anybody is tuning in, hello, and thank you for stopping by the J. Terrio Louisiana Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. We've got the Toppling Goliath Brewing Company from Decorah, Iowa, if that will even show up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You kind of see the etching there. It's Fire Skulls and Money India Pale Ale, 7.2%. And this here says 11/20/2020 is when it was packaged. Best by the 20th of, I think that says March 2021. I started drinking. I got some notes just to read really, really, really fast. I won't go into the spiel on their website, but they said it was inspired by a trip to the West Coast. And it's 7.2% ABV, 50 IBUs, featuring Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, and Nelson hops, being called on the beer reviewing websites a New England IPA, not the West Coast. So let me pull up my notes so I can do this kind of in a brisk fashion. So when I poured the beer, it had a two-finger head. You can kind of see over yonder this way where the head was. So that's sort of where your two fingers is. Yeah, just about. It has a very hazy, milky kind of colored body to it. It does have that soapy, again, two-finger head. I think that some lacing is present, and it looks pretty nice in the Treehouse Teku glass. And it looks the part of a good New England IPA, or a NEPA, as we call it. Any IPA, NEPA. The aroma is very spicy hops. There's very spicy hopping, like peppery aromas. There's a lactic-style sweetness present. There's very light tropical juice notes of grapefruit and orange. It smells very white wheat malty to me. There's white breadiness in there too. I'm getting some hop oiliness with a mild dankness, and I mean really mild. It's not that extremely dank, and nor is it really that extremely dry either. So Fire Skulls and Money. The S has hit the fan, Chase. So I am very much along the lines of Bumpy Road Brewery and how my beer tastes. Almost 100% do I agree with Bumpy Road and how his beer tastes with mine. Mine's extremely grapefruit and orangey. There's a lot of spicy hop flavor, very grapefruit grindy, some white bready malt, I suppose. Like I said, in the nose, very light on the dankness in that garlic onion note. But I mean, other than that, like really, that's all I can write home about with this beer. So far in the taste, everything else I've had from Toppling Goliath is a way better product than this one so far. It's on the light side of medium for its mouthfeel. It's 7.2%. That's detected nowhere. Not at any point in time. 7.2 discovered. There's a moderate amount of carbonation and a nice spritzy feel to the body of the beer, if that makes any sense. It's got a nice carbonation. Finish is on the milky side, and it leaves with a grapefruit rind note, but it's not really that dry at all. It's just sort of a middle of the road, maybe I don't know. It's a middle of the road New England IPA. It's slightly above average for that style of beer, and I'll sip and think and come back with a rating. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Gemma,
Cheers.
what's going on?
I'm sorry, I'm speaking. The vice president coming up. I want to say that I appreciate your examination of this product. And I also want to say a few more things. I've never had the beer that Bumpy Road had, but I have been south of Alone because I used to be 10. Thirdly, I love an English India Pale Ale that James presented. Fourthly, people seem to think that when I'm not on the Hangout, I'm not aware of what's going on in the Hangout. This is a disastrous misperception. Oh, Nina, I'm sorry. I'll add you back. Seems to have dropped off some inexplicable reason. Fourthly, I've not had that beer from one of those New England states, Eric, but I'd like to try it. I probably would enjoy it.
State of Iowa.
Next, we're going to... I'm sorry, excuse me?
It's from the state of Iowa, but yeah, New England in theme, I suppose, yeah.
Yes, I've been to Iowa and I enjoyed it. Now, Nina is next, so now we're gonna go to Nina. Now, I remember when in 1973 for the Academy Awards. No, well, anyway, folks, we have some technical difficulties, which are expected on the internet. We're in the earliest stages of the internet. So, oh, there's Nina. All right.
Nina,
somebody told me, oh, that's beverage.
Nina's not here right now.
Nina now.
No?
No.
Beverage Ramblers, Jean and Mobile, we were referencing that. We'll be back to you shortly. I'm going to drop off, and then I'm going to add you. Oh, okay. So I'm going to drop off, and then I'm going to let the other people present, and then we'll circle back. And when Nina rejoins, then I'll add her back, and then it'll work. I think it'll work out very well. Now, we got Jammer Fan with his particular product.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Ron, for having me on. And hey to the panel. Nice seeing everybody tonight. I've got Breakfast in Bed from Weldworks Brewing in Greeley, Colorado. It's a sour American wheat ale with 4.6% alcohol by volume. And it is brewed with strawberry, maple syrup, cinnamon, milk sugar, and vanilla.
Man. All right.
This was recommended to me by somebody at my shop. So I trust them.
I want to mention that I've never had that. Sorry.
Yeah, this is kind of hard to find outside really northern Colorado. I'd be interested to hear if Chatio has had any Weldworks beers. He's a little bit south of me.
Oh yeah, I've had quite a few.
Nice.
I can't remember off the top of my head which ones, but yeah, my buddy's one of their brewers, so every time he's back down in Denver, he's like, "Here you go."
Nice, man. Yeah, I dig the brewery.
You can go right ahead and review that beer if you want.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure. I was just waiting on you guys. I was like, okay, should I go the whole way? All right. So yeah, we obviously know the score on this. So I'll go ahead and go in for the nose.
It's a good looking beer.
And actually, sorry, I should do I got a little off track with going back and forth there. I should probably actually present the appearance, eh? So it's a very golden, hazy beer. The head went down really fast. It was maybe a quarter head that dissipated pretty quick, but there's a ring of head though that's still remaining. You can kind of see it's like a little frothy kind of cap that is remaining. Not too much lacing, but it's 4.6%, which is kind of why I wanted to try it out. So I kind of like some of these lower ABV beers, just to kind of see, you know, how much flavor you can get out of something with like a lower ABV. So I really can't see, like if I truly get in the light here, I can't see through it, but it does have a nice gradation from a very golden, almost white at the top of the head down. So a very golden, nice color. So the immediate smell is like a strawberry shortcake. It smells kind of like the strawberry syrup, the Hershey's strawberry syrup, but it does have the cinnamon and the vanilla and the milk sugar and the maple syrup. So it kind of smells like if you get strawberry pancakes at IHOP, because there's, you know, there's definitely some maltiness to the beer, so there's going to be some bready flavors in it. I think the cinnamon, weirdly enough, is muted enough and just in there to kind of give it like sometimes people put cinnamon or other spices in their pancake batter or their waffles, so I think it kind of like accents the doughiness of it. And it's kind of hard to get the vanilla, but again, it kind of like, I mean, I've heard of people putting vanilla in cookies, pancake batter, whatever, so it kind of can go with that, but definitely there's a pancake, like a strawberry pancake smell to it. It shows a full platter of breakfast stuff on the label, and there's no coffee notes. There's no smoky bacon notes. I mean, it's not like a full breakfast. It's more just, you know, kind of like strawberry pancakes, but I'm not going to complain with that.
No. Cheers, Jim.
Cheers to you, Jammer fan.
That was good, man.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is all their beers in this series. So this brewery does a lot of beers that are under 5%, that are all American sour wheat ales. I've done one on this show before. They're very sour, but not in like the way that a Flanders red ale would be, where it tastes like vinegar. They're just like snappy. It's like a snappy, almost lemony sourness. And I think they use the I don't know, acidulated malts. I don't know the term. I think I'm mispronouncing it, but
That sounds right, yeah.
yeah, I think they use those malts instead, but it's really nice. I'll just finish up by saying thanks. You know, it's like strawberry shortcake, pancakes, like going to IHOP. It's not going to blow you away like a barrel age, but it's nice. I feel kind of like I'm just like, it's like 2 a.m. It's like 2 a.m. beer, you know?
What did you say the ABV was on that beer, Jammer?
4.6, so pretty low.
Sounds about right.
Ton of flavor for the 4.6 though,
Nice.
so I'm appreciating the flavor.
Awesome. That sounds good. Damn. All right, man.
Should I throw a score? We're not doing scores yet, right? Like I'm pretty much done here. All right.
We're going to hear
We're
from
not doing scores.
State Lager.
My internet got flaky or whatever, wonked out on me. But I'm back. Green State Lager, drinks pretty nice. Kind of a thin body for all the Pilsner it's got going. Very light, lean, still crackery Pilsner. And what you're tasting is that noble hop. It's got almost like that session IPA kind of taste, but they did it right. I'm thinking it's high calorie versus what
Right.
session IPA is. But it has a lot in that vein of really light and, you know, crackery still, not doughy, but almost doughy with the hop carrying it. It's got the nice lacing to it. Well, not tons of lacing, but a nice fuzzy head. I like it a lot. Real refreshing, real tasty. I could see why the athletic people that I know seem to think this is a refreshing beer because it's a refreshing beer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a lager. It's a pilsner. It's one of those. I really like it. I like the hop. It's not so hoppy that it's going to be IPA territory, but it's just one of those beers that's kind of on the cusp of a lot of styles. And they did this one right. It's funky. First, I've heard of the Zero Gravity brand. Brewery. So, well, I don't know. I guess circle back to me with the score. I'm not getting too many special flavors from this one other than your basic flavors. But your basic flavors, sometimes it's worth going back to basics with, a lager or a pilsner. So this is a good beer. I would recommend this. Not cheap at all. This was a premium product. 4.9% alcohol. So it's it's sessionable. It's nice. There's nothing wrong with this beer. It's not special, but it's what's not special about it that makes it a nice product.
I see 12 packs of that all the time in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, your neck of the woods.
I don't mind that beer, but I forget what it costs. It's probably got to be $14, $15 for a 12 pack, I would guess. Yeah.
It's not bad at all, but it's a premium product in my area, especially here in Connecticut where you're paying tax every can. Hey, Chatio.
Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. Sorry, I was fashionably late. Oh, well, I'm keeping that Rocky Mountain High going with Prost Vienna Lager, which is a Austrian-style amber ale lager, 5.4%. Doesn't say a whole lot about it. It's out of Denver. So get her cracked. Ooh, sprayed everywhere.
Well,
get her in the glass.
I haven't seen any Chatio cats around. Maybe they're hiding.
After last night's ordeal, they're hiding.
oh, I missed that.
Yeah, good. Kind of a copper color. I know it's hard for you guys to see it.
It's not
but,
super dark for a Vienna lager.
No, it's actually fairly light, very translucent. Yeah, about a 1.5 finger head. Getting a lot of not a lot, but a little bit of malt, a little bit of hops, and I can already just tell from the aroma it's going to be nice and crisp. So, cheers.
Cheers, Chatio.
Cheers.
Try it. What's the ABV on that, Chatio?
5.4.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry. I got distracted by the TV. Hold on, let me mute it. Lightning getting their banner lifted right now. Yeah. There we go. But
great color, nice glassware.
oh yeah. Willie Belcher from Pilot House Brewing Company. They won under about a year ago. That's how I know their brewery used to brew up the road at this brewery. Now is up at Wildworks. Not very bitter from the hops. A little bit more malt from it than hops. Very balanced though. Nice, crisp, refreshing. Good, like late summer, early fall beer. Cheers.
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 We'll give a score next time around for sure. Sorry.
Cheers, Chatio.
I'm like stuck on the screen. Like, just kidding. Hopefully, no sirens going off in the background tonight.
Hello, John.
Hey, John.
There you go. Hi. Okay, I've unmuted my mic. Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Tonight, I am drinking something I'm sure we've had. I've reviewed this, and I don't know if y'all have had this already, but this is. I'm trying to remember if I brought this on one of these Wednesday night sessions, but I'm drinking Tulane American Golden Lager from based out of Blue Crown Brewing Company. Not only do they do this lager, but also they do a hard seltzer as well, which is all the rage now. This beer, of course, has an affiliation with country music singer, superstar Luke Bryan. 4.2%. It is 99 calories, 3 grams of carbs. So we all know what type of beer this is. Part of the new thing we're seeing these lagers, but also that are healthy, more, you can consume and you won't have to worry about, the weight, calories, and all that BS. But here's the beer right here. As you can see on the screen, it is nice, typical golden color. And according to the, it's supposed to be a nice sip, beer to sit back, sip with friends, American Crown barley and water from the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia or West Virginia or Kentucky, whatever. Since all those states kind of surround each other. So, in any event, and Tennessee, throw them in there as well. Anyway, I've had this many times. Again, it has your standard barley smell, and it kind of sort of very, very flat in my opinion. But I figured let me bring this in tonight because, I wanted something to consume. That was very easy, and because it's been that kind of day today, I wanted to drink a lot of things before I go to bed. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but yeah. So,
cheers, John.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers to coping mechanisms.
Yes, Nina. Absolutely. So, nice, smooth. There's a little bit, kind of a tad, not much, but a little hint of sweetness in this lager. And I'm wondering the born on date on this beer. I'm taking a look on the side, guys. Stand by right now. February 20th, 2021. So it's fresh. So that's a good thing. No, fresh is good. Fresh beer is good. So, when I reviewed it, I was kind of ho-hum about it. I was like, it's all right, and I think for a 12-pack of this goes about at one Winn-Dixie, I saw this one for about maybe $13.99. So, I hope folks don't go out rushing out and buy this because, hey, Luke Bryan is on the, hey, he has his name to it. I love Luke Bryan, all that not jazz, but just because someone put their name behind it, sometimes not always going to be a winner, Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But anyway, I'll give my review at the end of the program. So, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.
Hey, I miss Wednesday nights. I miss all of you. Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's right, Bumpy. I miss you. I miss you, Jay. I miss you.
Yeah, you look so serious.
Jay.
Right before his heart grew 10 times the size.
You were looking serious, man. What's up?
That's a loaded question, and I don't think you want to hear the answer because it might take 2 hours to explain it. It'd be like a conference.
Yeah, I don't got 2 hours.
I know. Anyway, but I'm gonna give you more than enough time. Too much time. Anyway, you ever heard that saying, patience is a virtue? Some people seem to have not heard that before. So I want people to be virtuous.
Never heard of it.
It's a pretty much what we're talking about tonight.
You put me on the channel
Anyway,
right now, Jay. Put me on now.
Remind me of somebody. All right. People told Grace Slick. I love Grace Slick a lot through books. She says, people say I'm curt and I make ugly comments. She said, it's not true, you know. She said, people ask me unsolicited questions and they don't seem to appreciate the answer. She said, one time I was next to a tree, drinking wine, eating bread next to the Highway 101 in California, reading a book, minding my business. She's a libertarian, you know. So she says, well, reading a book. And a state trooper drove up. Interesting story, very short story. He put his hands on his hips and looked down at her in 1976 and said, what are you doing? Which she found was a strange question because you're watching me. She says, eating bread, drinking wine, and reading a book. And he says, why? She said, why are you asking me such a question? And he said to her, you're going to jail. She said, what's the charge? You're being very curt with me. She said, I didn't know that was a law. Okay, she's thinking to herself, okay. So he tells her, are you going to resist? She said, I hadn't intended to. Now, later on, surprisingly, in California, then, I mean, it probably is today, but then there was no law against speaking to a police officer in a curt manner, nor was there a law against sitting against a tree, eating bread, reading a book, and drinking wine. And thirdly, she said, drunk mouth is not a crime. Now, I would give Schlitz, Elvis Presley told Steve Martin in 1972, you seem to have an oblique sense of humor. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to give it an A-, a 92 out of 100. And I mostly believe that. And I'm happy with it. And I have 9 left to drink. All right. So everyone who's waiting and wondering, my answer is we're going to get to you. It won't be long. If you're patient, it's done. Now, so 92, Michael, mark that. 92 out of 100.
I got it.
A-. And now we're going to go to the person who joined second. See, somebody said, why you skip me? Because you weren't here on time. I was late, but you came in 5th, so you get to go 5th. The person that came in second gets to go second. It makes, to me, sense. Okay, but I'm aloof to...
Okay, so this is what I have left.
Michael, going to get the floor. And
this is what I have left of the 23.5 ounces of this beverage, which is not a lot, but as I've been sipping on it, it is definitely very artificial tasting. I've decided that after sitting on it. Certainly coconut forward, though. If you like coconut, maybe you would like it. I am giving it an 81, which is in my B rating. I guess a B- maybe, but I don't think I would buy it again. I might try another variety of it, though. Maybe another Seagram's one if I saw it and maybe like the combination more. But it's giving you what it's giving you. It's an 8% malt beverage. And it is what it is. And I'm going to finish it. So,
All right. Cheers.
81, 92. Bumpy, go. Time.
All right. So for the South of 11 double IPA from Hoof Hearted Brewing. So I gave like kind of my flavor notes, what I was picking up on it, all that stuff. I did look up on Beer Advocate afterward just to see, or I looked up basically reviews of this beer just to see what other people were thinking of it. Some other people were picking up on pineapple notes, which, yeah, that's a far stretch. Mango, that's also a far stretch. And other various notes. Somebody did mention juicy fruit bubblegum. I can see that, not bubblegum, but it's chewing gum. I can see the juicy fruit. Definitely see the juicy fruit in there as being a flavor note. And then the average score seemed to be around a 4.2 out of 5, which I'm not sure where that lands, but I'm going to give it a 90 out of 100. So I don't know if that would fall into that range, but 90 out of 100. I think the alcohol is well hidden, like I said, except for like kind of piney type alcohol bitterness at the tail end that does follow up. Like I said, it doesn't really give off a real piney note to it, but they do use Simcoe hops in this, which can give off a piney note. So maybe it is there. I'm just not really detecting a pininess. Other than that, I guess I can shout out some stuff. It does look like the Keller beer is going to be the next beer. Keller beer for Multi Monday, this upcoming Monday, 1/18/2021. Now, Keller beer, for those that don't know, is it's an unfiltered German lager. So it can be a Pilsner, a lager of any sort, but it's unfiltered. It's Germanic. You can obviously find them brewed throughout the world, as long as a Keller style beer, which would be just an unfiltered German style lager. Bring it. That's what's going to be for Multi Monday. I'm also starting up something new for a live stream. It's going to be starting this upcoming Sunday. I'm going to call it After Dark Beers. It's going to be bring a dark beer. My cutoff, as far as I'm going with like an 18 SRM type as the lowest SRMs thing. If you guys don't know what the SRMs are, brown ale. So brown ale is like the lowest darkness to bring, and then it's just anything above. It can be porter stouts, Belgian doubles, quads, black IPAs, Cascadian dark ales, black lager, Schwarzbiers. But yeah, that's going to be starting up this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody's welcome on board as well. Just like Multi Monday, you just have to bring a dark beer. It is After Dark Beers.
That sounds like a good idea, and I will join unless I'm sleeping. Which means
it's gonna be more open format. Obviously showcase your beers and all that stuff, but it's gonna be mostly we'll drink and chat and stuff like that, but just be a little bit more formal versus very stipulous and it's not gonna be as regimented, I guess I'd say, as Monday.
Right. I don't believe in regimentation. I don't believe in strict rules or any of those things. I'm libertarian. But what I believe in is that I'll say this very quickly, it'll only take me 2 hours. People sometimes do beer reviews as though they're in a commercial. They live their lives like it's one big commercial. And I don't oppose that. But we do live inside a time, and people say, what can we do? People approach me in very rushed manner. What can we do very quickly? And I say, run. I don't know what you're talking about. And so they say, I want to join the beer reviews. I have a lot to say. How long is it going to last? I say, about an hour. Okay, well, you let me join. I say, all right. And then they'll say, when can I come on? Well, I'm kind of busy right now. We'll get to your question as time permits. Is it now? I said, what led you to reach that conclusion? So they ask me questions, and when I give them answers, they seem confused. Now James P. Madonna told me one time, this is like running a switchboard. I agreed with him 100%, and I agree with that now. Thank you, Bumpy Road. I would be very happy to join that.
Awesome. Yeah, first go this Sunday. We'll see how it goes. We'll try to make it fun.
What time again?
8 p.m. I wanted to start it at 7, but there's a majority of people that can't make it around that time, 7 Eastern. So it will be 8 8 Eastern. So I figure
I'm
as long as
sorry
it
to
goes
I'm
within an hour to 2 hours. I'm going to be off after 2 hours. I have to go to bed. I have to work.
That seems reasonable.
I don't
Unfortunately,
foresee it
there's
going 2 hours.
unless it gets abruptly canceled by certain viruses. I'm planning to watch the Saints game that night, so
Me too.
but I'll be thinking about it while I'm watching the game. Now we're gonna go to James, who's gonna give us his rundown, and that's that. So here is James.
Could you imagine if you had 10 guests on video, you lose your mind. That'll be too overwhelming.
Wonderful.
That'll be too overwhelming. Really, it'll be worse than the Hollywood Squares. Now, as the Newcastle, not the Newcastle, what the hell am I talking about? Close. The Samuel Smith India Pale Ale. What happened? Thumbnail James? Yeah, the Samuel Smith India Pale Ale is very good as IPAs go, but because it's only 5% alcohol and it tastes a tad bit too mild for me, I will give it a good night, Ronald Sutton. I will give it a 95% out of 100. It's not the best I've had in IPAs, but it's very good. It's good if you want an IPA that you can drink a lot of. Yeah, I mean, good balance.
Welcome. And what was the score again?
95% out of 100.
I was trying to land an airplane.
That's the
I was
only
trying to land an airplane.
I mean, if it was,
I was trying to land an airplane.
An airplane?
No, I'm sorry. I was interrupting you.
I want to land something that travels many times the speed of sound and has anti-gravity capabilities. What was I saying? If this was a Samuel Smith holiday stout with the chocolate and the cinnamon and all that, then I would give it 100 out of 100. But because it is what it is, which is a famous saying now, I'll go for the 95% out of 100. But you know what?
I love that beer, and
as Archie said, patience is a voyaging, little Goyle. Patience is a voyaging. Oh, Thomas Meadows.
Another thing he said was, I find that not shocking.
Was it 700?
Another thing Archie Bunker said. Another thing Archie Bunker said was, when he was talking about England, he said England is now Jean-Pierre is gonna I'm gonna add Jammer fan back, and I'm gonna drop out, and then I'm gonna add Thomas Meadow back, and then I'll say this: I base a lot of what I say on the Beastie Boys, because they tell me things that I need to know. And like, one thing is, be true to yourself, and you will never fall. I believe that when I first heard it. And
What's a brass monkey? Oh, he's gone. I was going to ask him what a brass monkey, a funky monkey, that song.
That's all I know.
Beastie Boys will go down probably one of the most eclectic artists in rock and roll, hip hop, everything. Love it.
Yeah, they're very experimental. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who talked now? Well, you know what? Let me give my score and I head on out of here because I got something I got to do. If that's okay, Michael, everybody, let me just give the score. Okay. So the Tulane, I just finished sipping this. I got another can of it left. Again, it's a good, flavorful lager, 4.2%. It's nothing to really cry home about. Again, as I mentioned, Luke Bryant has his name behind the beer and the beer company. It is Blue Crown Brewing Company. They have this is their only beer they have, and of course they have another line of hard seltzer. So we all know this style of beer, the sort of low calorie, 3 grams of carbs, 99% calories. These type of beers, we know they're popular, especially for the those who are very health conscious. Which was what was light beer, really about when it made its debut back in the late 60s, early 70s. Of course, Miller Lite was the first light beer that came out in 75. We love beer, but we want to be conscious about our health and our weight and all that. The whole fitness craze, Jack LaLanne, Richard Simmons, all that. So at that time, but any event. So now we've kind of reverted back to that. So yeah, it's a very enjoyable, very nice beer to sip, enjoy, sit in the yard, or after you get done doing yard work is what it is. So I wasn't too excited about it when I first had it, so I'm going to give this a B score. This would be an 84 for me, 84, 85 score for the Tulane American Golden Lager.
Nice.
So there you go. So I'm going to go. Whoever wants to add themselves, do whatever. So everybody, it's been real.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Later, guys.
Nice review, buddy.
All right. Bye. Bye.
I think it's you. Yeah. Jammer, it's up to you, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it me? It might be me. Okay. I'll go because I have about that much of this beer left. And let me tell you, this is a fantastic Vienna Lager. I've had not a lot, but I've had maybe a handful of Vienna Lagers from different breweries. And this is probably the best I've ever had. Very well balanced, smooth, flavorful,
Nice.
crisp, clean. Held light up to it. It's a little hazy in there, probably from the malt and the hops and all that. I'm going to score this in 98.
I like that brewery. I see them all the time at my local shop, and their their winter / early spring seasonal this year is their IPL. So if you get a chance, it's got the green label. You should check it out.
Oh yeah, I've got like a 6-pack in my fridge. That's good stuff.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Right, cheers.
Cheers, everybody. So yeah, I'll just wrap it up here. I'll show the label one more time because it's pretty cool. The breakfast in bed, and it's just got like all kinds of cool like little, it looks kind of like 80s. It kind of reminds me of I just watched that Wonder Woman 1984 movie on streaming, and it had these kind of like 80s looking squiggly lines and all that stuff. So I kind of dig it. I was talking to people in the chat like Burley Sullivan about the fact that some of these beers, they're getting out of hand, like the crazy cobbler meringue pie, like just it's the beer's made out of Lucky Charms and Fruity Pebbles and stuff. Bumpy recently did a review of Lucky Charms beer, I think, and he said in his review, I'll just kind of like paraphrase him, that it's almost hard to argue that these are even beers. They're like some like weird new category of like malt beverage or something. I don't know what they are, but they still have enough beer in them that it's still a beer, but you have to sort of judge it differently than you would, because you don't like get much yeast character or traditional malt character or traditional hop character. It's like, what is this? But it doesn't taste like a seltzer. It doesn't taste like a cocktail. It's kind of like, well, what is this thing? And this thing just basically just tastes like going to IHOP. And I'm going to give it a 91 out of 100, for what it is. It delivers really good pancake strawberry-ish flavor, and it's 4.6% ton of flavor. And it actually finishes sour and almost dry, so it's not super sweet. It's actually relatively sessionable for something that tastes like pancakes.
Pancakes. That can kind of reminds me of those licorice candies, those little funky colored ones, like your hack and livery. So the Green State Lager has a very pilsnery kind of effect, but it's got this strange wateriness to it. I would like to kind of put it in the category of like a Munich style Helles, but it's just a little too water forward for that. It kind of has the same yeasty head characteristic that you find on like moose head beer. But you know, like I said, it's a lot more watery. Anyway, that hop really gives it some body, which kind of leaves it from being that weird, crispy, thin kind of session IPA sort of a taste. And you do get a little bit more malt than you would in that kind of scenario. But it's a refreshing beer. I was going to give it like a 92, but I think I'm going to go for kind of like the 9. I'm going to go 91 on this beer because it is refreshing and fun. It has 4.9% alcohol. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said originally, weird brand name, Zero Gravity, Vermont. You know, I don't know, very physical activity forward kind of a beer in my opinion. It has a lot of watery kind of property to it. Yeah, but it was really expensive in my opinion, and it's interesting to hear that Thomas Metal saw it for a much better price point up in his northern area. I actually went to Costco today, and a lot of these Connecticut beers, the Two Roads Brewery, is a very good price at Costco with the bulk discount that they sell things in. I actually picked up a Costco hot dog, also $1.50. Probably the most impressive $1.50. You get a soft drink with this, and you get this all beef Costco hot dog, which is basically like a kibasi. It's just this humongous thing. I don't know if anyone else has Costco in their area, but for $1.50, I think it's the marketing term would be a loss leader item. Where you're losing money on the product, but you're bringing business in, which makes it all worthwhile in the end, you know, because you're going to sell your $14.99, pound of kibasi and your $1.50, attractant made the person buy that $14.99, 2 pounds of kibasi. Anyway, as for my beer, I'm satisfied. I don't know. I've been drinking a lot of the Baltica lately, and I explored some of the 211 Steel Reserve beer. And I cannot fathom how both of those beers can have basically the same ABV, yet one is so heavy and strange tasting, and the other one is so refreshing, yet slightly strange tasting. I don't know. That's just where my head's been.
You might have got distracted by the TV. Chadio said he got distracted by the TV, and I said, I find that I do get distracted by the TV, but I speak in code. But anyway, now I told somebody years ago, I said, do you know that I speak in code? He said, I don't care. I said, one day you will. Anyway, I said, also, I remember everything that people tell me, like the date they told it to me and the context in which it was told. And they look at me like, you're kidding. And I'm like, one day you'll realize I'm not. And they don't follow up on it, but they ought to. It's strange. When I go to work, I feel like I'm watching a comedy show, but the thing about it is I'm in the show.
You're like Nikola Tesla. He used to get massive amounts of information in his dreams, like all his ideas and inventions. He would just get bombarded with them.
Right. They said, you're crazy. He said, you're using my product, aren't you? Well, yeah. That's what it counts. Now, anyway, I think people, not you, James, of course, or Nina or anybody else in particular, I think people tend to not necessarily listen to what's going on, which I would recommend a good practice to engage in. And so remember, my slogan for 2021 was, quote, endeavor to persevere, unquote. No mind to that.
George Costanza on Seinfeld says, "I don't look for work. I listen for work."
Uh-huh.
That's what he told the employment office woman. I'm listening for work. Yeah, people don't listen.
Right. Someone said to me, "You seem vexed." I said, "What?" And I had an answer written down. I said, "How did you arrive at that conclusion?" Listen again. "You seem vexed." I said, "How did you arrive at that conclusion?" No answer. Then later they said, "Well, I was going to tell you about the beer I drank." And I said, "I know. You told me that. But I was going to tell you immediately." I said, "But I told you in 10 minutes or 20, I would let you talk about it." "You shaved your beard." I said, "Why are you telling me these strange things?" And then he says, "Well, let me tell you about yourself." And I listened, and he said, "Oh, no. So I think I'm like Jesus Christ when he wrote on the ground. They said, "Look at him, he's writing on the ground." And then he said an answer. They didn't like the answer. So I listen to people at work. People walk up behind me and ask me unusual questions, and I look at them and I say very politely, I try to be a polite person. I smile. They say, "You're smiling." I say, "I'm happy." I say, "I find your argument unconvincing." No answer. And they say, "Why'd you tell me that?" I say, "You asked me a question." Now, anyway, to me, it's logical, but that's why I talked about Grace Slick early on, because they said about "you're curt." She said, "I wasn't talking to you." She was a model one time in a department store, and a lady walked up to her and said, "You need cream." She said, "I could take that many different ways." She said, "I need cream." This is like 1962. She said, "Your elbows are dry." And she said, "Why does that concern you?
Take a
You're a
closer look,
model."
lady. Whack.
She said, "I'm a model." I know, that's why I'm standing here modeling a dress. She looked at the old lady, and said, "Why are you telling me things that I'm already aware of?" No answer. Now, the lady interpreted that as this is a rude 22-year-old model. But the answer from the 22-year-old model was, you ask questions out of context that, in my viewpoint, make no sense. So I think you know where I'm going with that. Now, when I started reading her books and all about her, I said, "Am I related to her? I think I met her once. Is she my sister?" I think this lady. And when I make a connection like that, I say, "I'd like to talk to this person more, possibly." Going on. Now, Schlitz is fine. I'm hoping, and I'm almost certain that Michael has taken note of the scores.
Yep.
So could you give us a quick rundown of the scores as they exist?
Okay, so Jay, yours was 92. I was 81. Jesse was 90. James was 95. Eric was 87. Nina was 91. James was, Jammer was 91. Chadio was 95. And Jean was 84.
8. I think I was 98. Yeah.
98, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
98, I got it.
Like in the movie 13, check. Like problem works. I'm sorry, Thomas. He was speaking somewhat quickly, and I so what was the score? And then he disappeared, so I thought something had happened. Now, when Nina disappeared, I immediately started getting comments.
He posted the score in the comments.
Okay. I immediately started getting comments. She died. She's angry at you. And I always think to myself, why don't you consider all the possibilities? Like the most likely one is that her internet failed and she'll be back soon. Oh, hadn't thought of that. I said, I know, because you don't think. Now, But you could, see, that's the answer. You could think. It's a choice. You have the ability. You choose not to. But I'm going to talk to you in a little while, and maybe you can, of course, entertain that idea. Now, so it's a fun night, I have to admit. I'm very pleased. Now, James, any promos? I'm doing Dawnbusters in the morning, so, you know, I'm ready to roll on that.
Well, I'm supposed to do with God willing, knock on wood, Fandango Friday with several humanoids, individuals, probably around 10 p.m., maybe 9 or 10 p.m. this Friday, of course.
Do you have a theme this week, James?
No, it's actually the open topic format went very well this past weekend. It's going to be anything you want to talk about.
I would love to be able to be alert and aware enough to join your program one of these
Well,
nights.
I could start at 9 if that's not too harsh.
That's by far a little easier than your normal 10 o'clock.
All right, I'll bring Mick Von Raven aboard because he was he found he said to me, have you known your friend have you known your friend long? I go, which one? He says, Eric. I go, fairly long, you know. I mean, not eons. He says, why? Well, he says, the guy cuts me off. I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
He hung in there for a while in your last.
Yeah, I mean, I says, well, I know some people that are cutter offers. That's what they do. You know, they'll ask you a question. As soon as you make a sound, they'll cut you off, and then you try to talk, they'll cut you off again. And
they say there's a half-second delay to this whole internet thing we're in nowadays, and
well, not if you're a motor mouth. Not the people that go on. Like Gary Owens was a cutter offer, and he would go
Gary
on.
Owens.
On and on. Like it didn't even come up for air.
I had a kid in my elementary school. I'll never forget him. He was his father was a motorcycle guy, a Harley Davidson guy,
Yeah.
And he would always cut everyone off. And then when it came to making the point, he would say, "Oh, I forgot." I love that kid. I'll remember him till the day I die.
I was gonna sing the song "Pump Up the Jammer," pump, you know, Salt and Pepper, and he left.
Now, he's coming back. He's coming back. See, people, like Nina said, people forgot, and I'm mocking her mock because I believe in what she said. People forget things, which to me is important. Now, what did I say a month ago? I said I'm leaving, but I'm driving the buggy. And people think, well, he left, so he's quit, and he disappeared from the plant like a baby. When they drop their pacifier, they say it disappeared. No, they don't understand. You dropped it, but it can be retrieved. So when I drop off, people say, "Look, now the guys can play," and I'm thinking,
well,
people don't listen.
The story you
But
told
they're
me.
gonna find out. Now,
Get that little bite in the ankle.
Well, sometimes I'll cut people off because it's like they said something, and I instantly got a joke that has to be said now. And if I can't get a word in edgewise, I'll sit back, and then the joke's gone. I won't say it. But if I can cut somebody off after they say something that I can come back with something kind of snappy and funny, I'll try to get it in there. Otherwise, it's a waste. It's a wasted joke.
These are people that go on and on and on, you know. And they, but Jay
for 4 hours.
Yeah, his story reminded me of one of my cousins. I won't mention her name. She's talking about saying things out of context, like
she knows who she is.
Like you'll
wait. Let me interrupt for just a micro.
All right, go ahead. Bring him back.
Yes, Jay.
Because Michael's busy. He's got something. Michael, any promos?
Yes, I'm Stout Sunday, 10:30 on John and Nilly's Georgia Beer Reviews channel. In the morning. We're always there every Sunday morning.
I've heard about that show. Thomas Meadow, we didn't say you talk for more than an hour. You got to listen. You see, listening is an important factor in learning. Students would tell me, "Why'd you say that?" I said, "I don't know. You don't listen. You asked me a question about Africa, and then you give me a 10-hour lecture about Africa, which is slightly incoherent." It's strange. I find the world to be a strange comical circus.
Piccadilly
And people
Circus.
used to ask Jesus, right? People would ask Jesus Christ, "Why do you smile all the time?" He said, "Because everything I see seems comical." Now, paraphrasing.
Is Arnold
Like
Schwarzenegger
Peter said,
really the governor of California still?
Yeah, yes. Now it's
Terms, I think.
Yes,
Baker.
alternate.
Yeah. Three days ago, message from Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, go on.
I have a doctor in Syria that calls me every day. Now, Michael,
Yes.
I will join Stout Sunday, and with with a stout, and people say you seem to make loaded comments. That's the only kind of comments I make, and that question you asked me has connotations that person could. But that's it. Now, Chatio, go Chatio.
Alex, the Beer Master Food Friday at 8 p.m. This week is soup or stew with beer. Alex and I will also be doing a fudge and Mackinac pairing review together. So look forward to that in the next week or 2 weeks or so. So yeah, I'm continuing with a bunch of beer reviews. Starting to sprinkle some video game play back in there a little bit too. I'm getting some friends like, "What's up with no video games and all beer reviews?" So I'm got to bounce that all out and we'll get it going. So cheers, guys. Cheers, Ron. Thanks for letting me in here.
Jammer, do you have anything to say in terms of stuff you're doing?
Yeah, so on my channel, I just got rid of a bunch of old videos that just really weren't very high quality. And I'm going to be doing some beer reviews and some movie reviews with a friend where we're going to be drinking beers, talking about movies and stuff. But I would mostly like to plug the stuff that I'm really just enjoying watching, which is Bumpy Road, Multi Monday, and then also Stout Sunday on John and Billy's channel. That's been really fun. I've been going through the back catalog and watching, past Stout Sundays because, just kind of they're fun to watch. I actually kind of more listen to them as a podcast. Bumpy always makes fun of me for doing like yard work and chores while I'm listening to beer reviews, but I like doing it.
Yeah,
just
you probably killed a lot of squirrels. Just saying.
Probably did a what?
You probably killed a lot of squirrels. Because you don't see them. You run them over with a lawnmower.
No, for sure. But no, I actually try to watch out. I try to watch out for the local critters. But no, it's just I really like the format of both those shows. Multi Monday and Stout Sunday are just really like the structure of everybody just presenting and going through the review. It makes me think on my reviews. Like today, I almost didn't even present the appearance. I'm like, okay, I gotta I like the idea of presenting it like in a real professional fashion. I think that just makes it more fun. It makes it more seem like a real hobby, which it is, and it should be respected. And I like both those shows. They're very quality. There's a lot of things I learned too, and it's really cool being able to hear about beers that I can't access, which is why I like being part of this community. And it opens up opportunities for maybe beer trades or whatever down the road too. Getting those cool beers from people and being a part of the community and stuff. So I appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. Cool deal. I'm drinking this Trooper beer right now from Robinson's Brewery. It's got the Iron Maiden label on it. The Trooper. Yeah, named after the song.
That's an ESB.
It's an ESB?
Yeah.
Now, I'm getting almost a Vienna Lager kind of a taste from it. So if it's an ESB, it's I guess it's got that toffee note, a toffee boozy note to it, and it's got a lot of flavor. They say that it's charged with flavor. This camera's lousy; nothing focuses. But anyway, it's a neat label. It's got the British Union Jack on it. It's got one of those zombie things that Iron Maiden has on all their album covers. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think I would be able to taste the difference between this beer, being an ESB, and a Vienna Lager. It's kind of a Vienna Lager. Taste, in my
They're similar. They're similar styles for sure.
Yeah. Well, they're both
I see you have some mustard there with your sub roll. What
I've got
you got going on?
the Costco hot dog. It comes with this little container of mustard. It's a huge dog, and I've got this French's kind of yellow mustard on it. Beautiful, 100% beef hot dog here. And this funky roll, kind of a sub roll as you described it. A little bit of cornmeal on the outside. Really, these are great. Like I told you, lost leader. They can't be making any money on this $1.50 dog. It's designed to, I think, be split with like a family. Anyway, I got 2 of them, and they come with a 16-ounce soda or whatever. And luckily, it's my sister who has the Costco account, so I was with her, and I was able to, give one of those soft drinks to her. But there's no way you can even buy this hot dog without, taking the soft drink cup. And during regular non-pandemic times, they'll give you, little slivers of onion in a dispenser, which really elevates a hot dog, I think, to the next. Besides sauerkraut, onion is your next best thing.
or baked beans.
Baked beans on a hot dog or on the side?
No,
I've never
on
had
the hot dog. Beans and Frank.
Now, if you get out in Ronald Sutton's area, you get all those real good, because they're German out there. They're all German culture. They know their hot dogs. They know their sausages. They've got big sauerkraut dogs with Swiss cheese and German potato salad, all that kind of stuff, dressing them up. They got some really nice hot dogs out there. Bowser's,
Okay,
if you're in
excuse me.
Ohio.
Excuse me, I'm like Henry Hill. I'm just looking up. Michael, last comments? Or not last, because
it's been a good Wildcard Wednesday, and that's about it.
I agree, and I want to say this, and I'm sincere, and I'm not joking. And I said on my Sunday 2-hour video, which few people watched, I would agree because I wouldn't have watched it. But I said, if I tell you I'm not joking, you should believe it. And they said, nah, you're just kidding around. I said, remember in 1997, I told you I was a Democrat, and you looked at me and said, you Republicans. I said, okay, I have a voter ID card. Would you like to see it? No. I said, okay. And then in 2001, I was thinking back then, I said, they're going to get a shock. So in 2001, I said, remember I told you that? No. I said, because you don't think. I remember everything. I said, remember I said I was a Democrat? Yeah. I said, I am. And I just got these looks like, but I told you all kind of things. I said, I know. Did I ask for you to tell me those things? No. I said, it's a good thing I didn't record it all. Or write it down, but whatever. Anyway, it's a strange world when you're a stranger. Okay, now, last call. Like, remember, I'll drop hints all throughout videos. I said, I'm like Steve Martin, and Elvis Presley said to him, you have an oblique sense of humor. Makes sense to me.
I like the potato.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, did you criticize Elvis? Okay, I want to I appreciate Bumpy Road Brewing. I appreciate you joining. I appreciate Thomas Meadow joining. I appreciate Chadio joining. I appreciate Jammer Fan joining. I appreciate you gotta watch it because if you don't say anything, they'll flip out. Help me. Jean-Pierre Beverage Ramble. He was here for a moment. I want to thank myself for hosting. I'm sorry I was about 2 minutes late. Or you say no, it was 7. That's why I put that disclaimer in the announcements. 6:20 to 6:30. People said I was late. I said 6:22 is before 6:30. It's less than 11.
Yes. Which
They
did
said
not
Ozzy
get a
Osbourne was
perfect
crazy. Right. They said Ozzy Osbourne was crazy. I said, yeah, but he's in demand. That's his words, not my, well, Bob Daisley's words, but I didn't, you know. But anyway, thank you. Let's see, Nina doing very interesting products. James and them have Fandango Friday coming up. People say, I was offended. Well, why did you join? You could have turned it off. And then somebody made a very interesting comment to me, a foolish comment, of course, but interesting. He says, James stole Fan Friday from you. I said, that's a strange thing to say because he invented it. How did you learn everything? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know everything. You just think you do. I say, watch who you're talking to and watch what you say. I listen. You can't steal what the other person invented unless you're the other person. He told me one night, we ought to make Fandango Friday. I said, that's a wonderful idea. Am I correct?
Hey, what goes up must come down. Spinning wheels got to go around. You know, I said, well,
Ride a painted pony, James. Let the spinning wheel spin.
Let the spinning wheel spin. I mean, it's a free format. That was the original idea of a free form format. You want to do a review? Do a review. You want to talk about politics? Talk about politics. You want to talk about relationships? Whatever you want to talk about. But you know, it was good when Jay was hosting it. It was a good show. And then
I offer you something to help you relax.
Well, then he did sensational or Saturday or something like that sometimes, and
Thunder and Thursday.
And Thunder and Thursday.
Super inclusive Saturday.
Yeah. Now
remember,
Nina.
now let's go back real fast. We started with Fearmonger Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. James started with Fandango Friday, and he wanted to make it sensationalistic and interesting. And I said, but I don't want it to be salacious. And so then that was a little misunderstanding. And then, and I appreciate Jammer Fan, of course, for joining, but I appreciate Bumpy Road for bringing lawyers, guns, and money beer tonight.
No, I didn't do that. That was Chatty.
Eric brought lawyers.
Eric brought that
Chatty.
one. I did bring that one at some point. I did bring a lawyer's gun, some money. Maybe it wasn't on Wildcard, but I did have it.
I thought Warren Zevon's beers were all good.
I want to thank Alex, the beer master.
I felt like a werewolf.
Yes, sir.
Alex joined me Sunday for a great show. It was a long one. It was a 3-hour tour. I mean, a 3-hour show, but it was a great show. I want to thank Alex, the beer master, and he pops on Fandango.
Rest in peace, Ginger.
Yeah, she just passed away.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Wait, didn't she not die though? She was like dead for like 20 minutes, and then they said no, she's not dead.
And then she died the next day.
Oh, she was dead the next day. It was.
Thank you.
Oh wait, that was the Charlie's Angel.
I think
One
you're
of
talking
Charlie's
about
Angels.
Brad, Tanya Roberts. And
James, you're an angel in my eyes.
Only
I
65.
have red hair. You get. But anyway, I thought Ginger was still alive. I was just I look. I don't want to talk about all my ex-girlfriends. Look,
She died recently.
Talked to Stevie Nicks.
She died for 2 minutes.
COVID-19 complications. Marianne.
Oh, that was Mary Ann. I thought
It was
Mary Ann,
one
but
of the
I don't
one of the
keep up with
younger
that.
females on Gilligan's Island.
Dawn Wells.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah, and Tanya Roberts was only 65.
Now, Jammer fan, just wait and cool it because I'm gonna let you back. We're about to roll it out. I was watching a show the other night, and it was about Chinggis Chukuk, and he said, "You know, you're a liar." They said, "You're a liar." He said, "Why is that?" He said, "They said you said you were the last of the Mohicans." He said, "I am." And then all these Mohicans came running out the store, and they said, "You said you were the last of the Mohicans." He said, "Well, I lied. You know, sometimes I lie." and they didn't like what he had said. And the movie, it was a sequel to Last of the Mohicans. It was called Mohicans Galore, which I thought was comical. Now, James Fenimore Cooper and James P. Madonna.
The Hakawis, were they real
is
Indians?
Gonna close this out.
Or that was F Troop, right?
They were phony Indians.
Yeah, Last of the Mohicans was a very awkward.
Where the heck Howie?
I thought that was
I sat through 2 hours with a girlfriend that didn't want to hold my hand.
Nina.
I'm sorry, I thought that was a more from Clark Candy.
We also always had the Heffen.
Well, I'm out of here. I'm going to add Jammer.
James, can you give some final music on the way out?
Yeah, I just want to mention to Nina.
Well,
potato
Jammer fan wants to.
rolls and
Put it in.
Portuguese rolls are good for sandwiches and kielbasa and knockwurst or whatever. You know, the yellow potato rolls. All right.
There are those strange sweet Portuguese rolls, the bolo rolls.
Oh, I've had those too. They're very tasty. Pump up the jammer. Pump up the jammer.
Pump up the volume. Pump up that thing.
Yeah, I'm happy to come back on. I did already give my plugs and stuff, so it wasn't like I was skipped or anything. But I'm happy to come back and talk to y'all.
Arr. Oh, good to have you. Yeah, pump up the. I get the grass-fed, no hormone, Black Angus, all beef frankfurters at the Whole Foods. They got that snap. They got that snap when you bite it. You know the casing, and they have great kielbasa. The same deal, no hormones, quality pork. Yeah. Oh, redo. All right.
Redo the sound. I was up in Worcester the other day. They got the liquor at their Whole Foods, and yeah, but I was too much of a wuss to go in there at the grocery store in my town.
You try to kielbasa from the Whole Foods. They got the quality pork, the Schweinhund, whatever the hell they call it.
And don't worry, it's gonna. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, hon. I love when you help cook. You're an amazing cook. Do whatever you.
Pump up the jam. Pump it up. Pump up
the volume.
Pump up the volume. Yeah, he had a little bit of a congestion, but yeah, it's not like quality meat and provisions. Andouille Louis and great andouille sausage and chorizo is good too.
Some people seem unaware of the pattern, but they don't watch the videos. They'll say, "I love your videos." I said, "Do you ever watch them?" Well, no. I say, Well, anyway, somebody asked me that the other day. In your 2-hour video, you said such and such. I said, let me ask you a question. Did you watch the whole 2 hours? Well, no. I said, well, go back and watch the whole 2 hours, and then we're going to talk. Never heard back. Now, I'm not trying to be rude. Some people take it that way. I'm not. I swear I'm not. At the end of our show, it's only been going on for 3 years. I will say things like, James is going to close us out with a musical selection, which he interprets as, now it's time for me to close us out with a musical selection. Now, some people misinterpret it as, now I'm going to say something for a long time, and even if James playing music. My attitude is, no, you're just going to listen to the music. Now, I noticed tonight, I like to watch things. People say, when are we going on? When are we going on? I said, and I told him 2 days ago, I said, well, it was 6:20. What's 6:22? But I said between 6:20 and 6:30. Plausible.
You know,
and you're not letting me get it started because you're distracting me from getting it started. But why isn't it started? I said, we hit an iceberg and I need you to press the alert button. Well, why should I press the alert button? I said, we hit an iceberg. It's 1912. Can you possibly press that alert button? Why should I press it? That alert button. You don't have good training. Remember in training you didn't pay attention? The alert button. Well, you ever watch Tom and Jerry? And I'm thinking, I think this ship is going to sink. Now, you understand the point? It's like in the movie A Night to Remember. He asked the steward. He said, he noticed things were going on. He says, excuse me. Yes, sir. I like British movies because they talk. They don't have explosions. He says, I noticed certain things happening. Well, we won't want to discuss it. He said, I'm not the panicking type. Oh, yes. He says, well, you have to abandon ship. Why is that? We hit an iceberg. Oh, thank you very much for the information. And he walks on. And if you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, James has had a challenging night trying to present an India Pale Ale, which some people let him present. Other people seem reluctant or reticent to allow that to happen. And they were under the understanding that I was not noticing what was happening. A very bad misunderstanding. So, James, I'm going to give you the floor. Then I'm going to give Nina the floor. Then Jammer Fan. Then Chatio. And that's how we're going to end it. Other people can talk too, except they're not here. So go, James.
I thought it had a good balance, of hops prominently as citrusy, yeasty aroma, floral aroma. I thought it had a crisp, toasty, malty flavor, and the instrument from Jersey. No, it goes way back, way farther back.
No, not the instrument. Are you from New Jersey?
Oh, I'm from New Jersey. Yeah. Yeah, my co-host, my second oldest co-host, Mick Von Raven, is from Chicago, and he tells me about all the food, how they make the pizza. Anyway, I digress. It's only 5% alcohol. It's Samuel Smith imported. So as far as the IPAs go, I gave it a 95 out of 100. I like it, but it's not the best IPA I've ever had because I'm partial to heavier, stronger, more bitter IPAs, but it's something you could drink a lot of. And that's all I have to say about it.
Oh, and now one more thing, and then Nina has the floor.
Yeah.
English IPAs tend to be less bitter. They're lighter bodied. And I had somebody tell me a funny comment one time. What do English people know about IPAs?
Well, it was discovered by accident, right? When the ship was on its way was on its way to India.
Right. And I said, where were IPAs invented? He says, India. I said, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Okay. Now, because you do no research and you need to think, but you don't.
Ales are from the British Isles, United Kingdom.
So what would the British know about India Pale Ales?
Well, they
invented it.
They invented ale and stout, and then there's something to do.
That's a rhetorical question. It's like saying, what did the British know about Greenwich Mean Time? I don't know. Ask them. Now,
yeah, I never had jelly eels. They serve that in pubs in England. Never had jelly eels. I like to try.
No, I've never had black pudding. Thank goodness. Now, Nina.
Oh, we're talking about England now. I don't want to steal the show, but
whatever you want to talk about, you have the floor. You're running the show now.
I went to Ye Old Cheshire Pub in London and tried the Ye Old Cheshire cheese as well as the pickle, which is their relish, and was blown away by them pulling their beers with their tap. They pull those cask beers. So it's, I wouldn't necessarily associate this beer with England. I don't know. Everyone's got their taste. Things are situational. Everyone kind of. I like to be able to harmonize with people, like James. I think James is a good host in the sense that he likes to harmonize with his guest. And it's beautiful when someone can pull that off, and not every time is that a possibility. Not everyone can jive, not everyone can harmonize, and it's a beautiful thing when that happens. And some people have to manage things and take things in doses and spice of life, things in moderation. And these are the differences between different productions and different shows, and these are qualities that you appreciate, and reasons why you sample different things and try different outlets and different shows. Once in a while I get a little impatient. I like to kind of step on the toes or do a little dance or try to dance best I can without stepping on people's toes, and kind of wiggle myself into a conversation, have that quip, have that quick joke. That's timing. Timing's everything.
I thought you were going to sing KC and the Sunshine Band. Do a little dance.
Sunshine Band, get down on it. You got to be able to get down on it.
Get down to the.
Sometimes you'll trip. You can't always get down in time. And well-oiled machine is one thing, and a machine that's running with a little knock is still a machine that's running the best that it can, to the best of its ability. And I appreciate all of the beer programs that I participate in, their hosts, production affiliated with it all, and all of the chat, all of the community aspects of all these shows, shopping for my beer, having my dinner on Wednesday night. It's a beautiful thing. It's not only, it's great. I like having this outlet, and I appreciate everyone who comes together on Wednesday night for Wildcard Wednesday, Mondays and Sundays. Of course, John and Ellie, Jammer, Chatio. We got James. We got Louisiana Beer Reviews. Beautiful thing. Keep it going. 10 more years.
Yeah, we'll all be in a nursing home going.
What's the ABV on that product there?
It tastes pretty. No, I 100% agree with your comment, and I'm unanimous in that. Now, Jammerfan has the floor. Before we close out in about 6 hours, go Jammerfan, but really it'll be about 20 minutes or less because I got to go do stuff Sunday. Jammerfan, go time. Or not.
Mike, Jammer, Mike. It's your turn, bud.
Maybe you got jammed.
Sorry, guys. I just spilled Dayblazer on my laptop, so I'm going to have to probably just bounce to, take care of the situation. Sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't spill too much. I think it's going to be okay. But I gotta set it up to dry, and it's just, I gotta go do that. So thanks.
We need a live hangout one night. I swear, I know the feeling. It was so comical in a bad way.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be okay. But thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yep.
Jam on it.
Anytime.
Jam on it.
You know what I noticed about Jammerfan? He'll leave, but he'll tell you why. And then if he doesn't tell you why immediately, he'll tell you why later, not in a hostile way. Yeah. Now, because what I keep telling people, I've learned this. I wasn't born knowing this. I learned. So I read an article this morning that said I learn something new from people every day, and I love to do it. But I was doing a hangout one night with some people I won't name, although I could, and I might. But they were saying, "What about this beer? What about that beer?" It seemed sort of frenzied. So I said, "Well," and they were distracting me by the TV, and they was all talking at once, and I was like, "Well, what are you saying to me?" And so I said, "Well," in a flourish. I said, "Well," and then the beer was like, "Bling," and it made the sound go off, and I was like. And they're like, "Look how rude he is. We asked him a question, he ignores us." And I'm trying to tell them what happened was, and then it went dead. And so people say, they were talking behind your back. I say, I always assume that's the case. So like telling me at work, they're watching you on the camera. I said, I would do that if I had a place. So you should always assume that you're being watched. And that's not paranoia, it's being smart. So I think Howard Tignor in his hangout says, no, it's M Guns. He said, don't just do the right thing when you assume you're being watched. Do the right thing when no one's watching. And then you probably have success, or you might not, but the likelihood is higher. Now, Chatty-O, go time.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Nah, I'm just messing. No, actually, I'll go off on that. I'm only here because of this gentleman above me. Started back probably late September, early October. He started commenting on my beer reviews. And I'm like, okay. And I think I was responding a little bit here and there. Then finally one day I was like, I'm going to check out his page. And then I saw it and I was like, okay, this guy's been around for about 10 years doing this. So I started communicating with him and conversing with Ron, and they brought me into Alcohol Leagues on Facebook, and I got to meet all of you wonderful people here. I almost pulled a jammer and spilled my beer on myself. But I met all of you wonderful people, and it's just like I'm so happy to be a part of this group, and I can only thank this man up here, Ron Terrio, for reaching out to me as a itty-bitty channel and finding my reviews and commenting on them. So cheers, Ron. Cheers to all of you guys, everyone in the chat. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I want to say this very quickly. I think you got it backwards. I'm a viewer. I just watch videos, and I happen to make videos myself just as a side thing. And people will say, oh, wow, you're talking to me. And I'm like, well, you have a video. And when they make comments on my channel, I'm like, oh, thank you. And it's just talk. They'll say, why did you make this channel? I said, well, I talk to people in my private life, my family and friends about beer, and they're saying, well, I just drink Bud Light. I'm getting drunk, man. Come on, let's party. And I'm like, well, I don't really do that. I'll just tell them I don't do that because you go to church. I say I don't do that because I read a lot. What? Nonfiction. Why? I like it. And then they'll say, you're answering my questions in ways I don't like. I say, you ask. So I've noticed in my whole life that people ask questions and don't want the answer that you give because they're not really asking a question. They just want you to say what they want to hear. And so then eventually they stop asking questions because they figure he's not going to tell me what I want to hear. I might tell them what they need to know. Now, so that's the purpose of the video reviews. It's no agendas. People ask, what's your angle? I say 45 degrees.
Now, Ronald.
Yes.
What? I'll give you a perfect example of what Nina meant by flowing with your guests. When it was me and Alex the Beer Master for the first time, Sunday. I broke the ice by talking about cooking because why he does a food show. And he opened right up and it ended up being a great show.
Yeah.
I think tonight was a fabulous show, actually.
I'm happy I joined. Happy I made it in time.
I actually loved it. If somebody asked me, what'd you think about the show tonight? I'll say, I loved it. They say, well, people are interrupting. I'll say, people interrupt me all day long, and I watch people in different locations interrupting each other constantly. This is not unusual to me. They say, well, I say, I live in Louisiana. People are loud. And they say, I live in New York. I say, they're louder. There. So, and then somebody will chime in and say, well, I'm from Mississippi. I say, I know, because you're quiet. I had a feeling. But quiet by design to disarm you. You're thinking, look, he's from Mississippi. He's so dumb. And he's thinking, that's what I want you to think. I want you totally relaxed and confident in our friendship. And then you'll tell me who the traitor in my family is. But I really have nothing else to say. People.
The red-feathered buzzard reared his ugly beak last Friday. And
I'm shocked.
I razzle-dazzled him and got under his skin because he does the same thing. He tries to be your friend. He tries to be nice, and then he flows into the insults, and then
I don't ever do that. People will tell me, who's your friend with the beard? I say, you looking to hang out with him? I said, maybe I could talk to him and he can come see you. Well, no, I said, well, you ask questions and you don't seem to want to answer. You say, what does that mean? I say, I don't know. What does it mean to you? Well, no response. And they'll say, you're drinking Budweiser. I know it says it on the glass and in the can. Anyway, Nina has a oblique sense of humor, and when she started making comments, she would say things like, funny things that I always get, and James too, and I would always feed in on. I'd say, makes plausible sense. Oh, wow, conveniently. Now, James is somebody like me. No, that's fine. James is like me. People will say things. They want you to take it the wrong way and not think about what they said. And I'm a human being like you all. And your first impulse, remember, this is important. That's why they have huge fights in Walmart. People lack impulse control. And someone asked me one time, you ever been to Walmart? And I said, you mean the place where people beat their children? Now, I've just observed that, unfortunately.
And they're very
I won't comment past off air. But anyway, I said, yes, I've been there. I buy hardware there. Why? I said, the hardware store was closed. Why? It was 6 a.m. and so on. So then you know where it's happening. Now, James made comments, and I like to pretend like I don't pick up. James will talk about accountants, and I said, no response. But other people will take offense, and then they're flying off the handle like Buddy Rich. And I said, well, you don't think, you're just talking, you're just talking. You're not like Henry Hill listening. You're like Tommy, and you're talking. That's why they told you come to a meeting. And then when you realize what was happening, you say, oh, no. Now, James, that's it. It's over, unfortunately. And you're going to, one more time, without interruption this time, close us out with music, and it's over. Go.
Hey, is Ronald Sutton ever up late at night? His stories can be interesting.
All the time.
I think he probably is.
Yeah, but he's not on Facebook.
People ask me.
Yeah.
Right. People ask me, why are you on the internet at 3 a.m? I say, I just woke up.
Sometimes I'm just going to
now,
bed when Ronald Theriot is having his breakfast.
Yep.
This is a true story. I'll tell James good night, and he say good morning. I mean, vice versa. Hey, Nina, me and Nina are going to get together and collect 3 frogs. Now, or geckos.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's bullfrog is swallowing medium-sized rats now.
And a prophet. Now, well, that's it. Thanks.
That's not counting.
Wow, get a wild card.
Red-tailed
Wild
boa constrictor.
card. You didn't notice the term